Yo guys, I am currently in Arizona right now. Just got done with my brain MRI. 1 year, 1 year post-op for my brain tumor surgery for my acoustic neuroma, and every year for the rest of my life, I'm gonna have to get a brain scan, and this is my first one. My first one that I'll get. My surgery a year ago, so kind of nervous for the results that I'll get back tomorrow. Once again, I'm out in Arizona. I just got my brain MRI done out here. Um, and I don't know if you guys, for those of you guys who have ever ever had an MRI, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to deal with. You're just laying in this tube, and it's just loud sound after loud sound after loud sound, and you're in this tight space. And for brain MRIs, you actually have this pretty like mask or cage around your face that's holding your face in. And midway through it, they give you an injection. So for me, like, I literally have a fear of needles. So they give you an injection to put, this dye in your system, courses through your bloodstream, so that way they can see a better image of your brain. And for those of you guys who are new followers, I just when I was last year, 2019, 2018, I got in a car accident, and I was driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden, in the carpool lane, all of a sudden somebody came over, sideswiped me. I spun around, hit 12 cars, did like 4 donuts. I was totaled. I had to crawl out the back window. I was fine, but a couple days later, I had to get and I wanted to get an MRI on my knees because my knees were my main source of income. That's my business. So, I was like, told my doctor, told my lawyer for the car crash. I was like, hey, look, I need to get an MRI because something isn't right. So, show up to get MRI, and I go to lay in the tube, and this is my first time ever having an MRI. And they lay me down and say, the tube's only going to go from the top of your head to like the middle of your chest. I was like, what? That's kind of weird. Like my knees are way down here. Like, this is for my knees, right? And they're like, no. This is for your upper neck. Like, you have neck problems. And I was like, no, but I'll take it, and then I'll reschedule it when I get done. So, took it, got the results back a few weeks later. Didn't think anything of it. Actually, the chiropractor that I was going to see didn't bring it up at all. So I went back again to the chiropractor a week later, and a different technician, a different chiropractor, ended up looking at my results and said, hey, you have a mass that's attached to your acoustic nerve near your cerebellum, like your brainstem. So you might want to get it looked at. It's probably nothing. So, I heard that, and I was like, oh, well, I have kind of like an inflamed lymph node back there. I was like, maybe they picked it up. Like, that's not how MRIs work, by the way. So in retrospect, it was like, dang, like what was going on? Like, why didn't I just jump on that right away? So I go and I wait a couple more weeks, and then I finally continue to go see my chiropractor, and they're like, hey, you should probably really look at this. Like, this is something. It's a 4 centimeter, 3 to 4 centimeter, like mass, that's attached to your brainstem. Like, you should probably look at it. So I ended up going back to the doctor, got a brain MRI, and they found out that I had an acoustic neuroma, which is a brain tumor that's on your vestibular nerve, which affects your balance. It's on your acoustic nerve, which affects your hearing, and then it's also on the facial nerve. So mine was on the right side, and that tumor was right here, and it's between 3 and 4 centimeters, which is a grade 4. That's the biggest they get. And it's sitting on my vestibular nerve, which affects my balance. Like, that's my business. my acoustic nerve, which affects hearing, and then my facial nerve. So like when they went into surgery, like that was one of the biggest things. Like, hey, you know, you're gonna lose your hearing. You so my sister-in-law, who I never really like asked, like, hey, what is it, that you do? Who do you work for? I find out that she works for one of the top neurosurgeons in the country, and not only one of the top neurosurgeons in the country. Sorry, guys, I'm going through parking structure. No, so what I was saying is that I have a brain tumor. Found out a brain tumor last year, and and on my face. And kid you, I was getting my surgery done, and before I go into like the after effects of the surgery, like one thing that happened because I'm relatively skinny is because I was laying in the same spot the whole time, like my muscle was paralyzed, like ended up suffocating because my bone was pressing against it from the table. So it's like laying in the same spot. So I woke up and my left butt cheek, I kid you not, it sounds funny, but like my left butt cheek was maybe 5 times the size of my right butt cheek. And probably the most excruciating pain of my I just had brain surgery, just had my brain open on the table, head completely filleted, and like my glute, my butt was the most excruciating pain that I was experiencing. So I ended up like still to this day, like my muscle is dead in my glute, and that's something that I'm constantly having to deal with as well, having different therapy sessions like for that. But for the most part, like after my surgery, like my main symptoms were an incredible loss of balance. So I try to tell people, like, if you've ever drank alcohol, like it just feels like I'm inebriated. It feels like I'm like tipsy 24/7. If you haven't, it feels like I'm on a boat for every second of my life. Everything's kind of like moving around. Like I can't really lock onto targets like I used to. So like even when I'm playing, when I'm shooting, like I can't see the rim every like moment that I'm dribbling or making an attack or like planning to get a shot. Everything's moving around. So I'm using like purely muscle memory now. The muscle memory that I established before my surgery, and on top of that, I'm deaf in the right ear, so I lost complete hearing in the right ear, which your hearing also affects your balance. So it's like I have my balance was already completely shot because the tumor was on my acoustic nerve, and they had to get the tumor off of that, my vestibular nerve, and they had to get the tumor off of that nerve. And then my acoustic nerve is completely destroyed because they had to take the tumor off of that. So I'm deaf in the right ear, which affects my balance. And then when I got done with surgery, like my face was fine, and then like a couple weeks later, my face just went paralyzed. So like literally this whole side of my face like just wouldn't move. So like for maybe 2 to 4 weeks, I was doing sessions, I was eating, I was doing all this stuff, and I couldn't move the right side of my face. And for me, like I'm not a vain person, but I'm in the service industry. Like I'm in a personal industry where I'm doing videos and I'm communicating with clients, and like it's a big part of my business. So like it took a huge mental and physical toll on me. Um, but through an incredible amount of prayer and, constant positivity and constantly remembering like it's not my will, it's God's will, through this whole, process, my face came back. So I ended up regaining, I ended up regaining all my motion and movement. Still not 100%, but I it feels amazing compared to where it was. And I'm slowly learning or relearning how to deal with life, um, with the handicaps now that I have. But it's just one of those things, like it's a blessing, like through this whole experience, it's a blessing. Like even though, I don't know what this brain MRI is gonna showcase. Like that's why I wanted to get on YouTube Live for you guys, because I wanted to just kind of talk through this. Like I've really thought about like the you know if like what if my tumor has come back, metastasize, or you know being able to you know say like, oh my gosh, it's good. Like haven't really processed that, so I wanted to process with you guys, by just getting on here and venting and kind of talking through it. So I get my results back tomorrow to see if my tumor, which they got out in April of last year, has come back at all, has grown, or if we're good and we um, can continue living my life. But this is, like I said, this is at the very beginning. This is part of my life now. Like I have to get a brain scan every 6 months to a year for the rest of my life, just to make sure that these that tumor or any more, aren't popping up. But I want you guys to understand this. Never once do I have I said or been like, pity me or woe is me, or, you know, I have had to deal with this, so feel sorry for me. Like I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me at all. And that's not why, I do the things that I do. But I genuinely want you guys to know that you can overcome anything. Like I had a clean bill of health. Like I'm never sick, never injured, had never got any injury. And this whole thing got, dropped on my plate. But I knew throughout the entire thing, like I had an uncommon faith that everything was going to be okay, that God had me and where he needed me to be, and he was going to take care of me and push me through my surgery and beyond. And not only the fact that I was going to get through it, but the fact that I was going to use it for something positive, something bigger than just, you know, me being a YouTuber or a basketball trainer, or having to go through this surgery and you feeling sorry for me. No, like screw that. Like I knew that there was a bigger purpose for it. And since I came out and said, what I've had to go through, and talked about my surgery and the process, for me, so many people have reached out to me and said, this is what has helped me get through my issues or my struggles or my problems, because they've been able to see how positive I've been. And that's like what I want you guys to understand is, first off, I'm here for y'all. Like if you guys need anybody to talk to, if you guys are dealing with something that's, tough or rough in your life, and you just don't know how to digest it, like let me know. I'll send a prayer. I'll say a prayer for you. I got you guys with that, and I'll help you guys as much as I can navigating through whatever it is that you're going through. But know that it's not just you dealing with it. Like there are a lot of other people who may have it way worse. And when you can put your problems in perspective, and it really diminishes them. It makes you realize like, okay, like I actually can count all my blessings. I don't just have to be worried for, anything bad that's happening. And like especially in a time now with everything going on, like we really need to continue to count our blessings and try to live as positively and love each other, and make sure that we're in this for everybody else. Be empathic and have love for everyone you come in contact with, because you guys don't know what other people are going through. You guys, you know, don't know the impact that a negative comment or something hurtful might do to somebody who's maybe already going through a tough time. So remain positive. And I know, like, for me, like, I'm always smiling, I'm always happy, I'm always energetic, I'm always loving. And that's what I want to exude on my channel and for you guys, and let you guys know, like, this is how I am in real life. Like, I love you guys and I want to be there for y'all. And I want you guys to know, don't fret. I know when I get the results back tomorrow that everything's going to be okay and that tumor's going to be gone, because I have faith that God's going to get me through this. And I know that He has a purpose for me on this earth, and that's to be able to use my platform for y'all. Use that platform so that way you can see, or like, how it is to live a strong, positive life, and allowing me to help you guys, any one of you guys, out with anything that you got going on. But stay tuned. I'm gonna be giving you guys. I'll make sure I keep you guys posted with results tomorrow when we get them. But I just had to get on here and vent with y'all and tell y'all that I love you. I want to thank you guys so much for all the support that I've had from y'all over the past year of me going through this brain surgery and being on this crazy road to recovery. But God bless you guys. Love y'all once again, and be on the lookout for our next video. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get it, y'all.